Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Jeddah Comic Book Talk, where I discuss issues pertaining to comic book readers, mostly from my collection. But today it's going to be a bit different thanks to the recent online event that happened, DC Fandom 2021. In light of in 2020, DC had decided to conduct an online event that would bring together the creators, the artists, the movie stars, TV stars. However, what was really surprising to see that the event started to broadcast at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in the US, and for most of it, the maximum viewership that was seen on YouTube was only 60,000 viewers. But not surprising or shocking at all, because DC, in my opinion, is disappointing the fans again and again and again and again. And the reason I say that is that it was a very good initiative by the publisher to start doing an online activity, because Comic Cons were not happening in 2020, and they took the opportunity to basically bridge the gap between on the creators, the movie stars, the TV stars, the writers, and their fans. But sadly, the event gets publicity mostly because of movies and mostly because of one character, and that happens to be Batman. I feel really sad to see that when DC is, so dependent on Batman, that even if you're looking at from the comic books perspective, it's every major event is going to be having Batman involved. Now, Brian Michael Bendis, who was an independent writer who joined Marvel, and he is responsible for some of the greatest stories that were ever told, joined DC Comics, and he started with Superman, and then he has also been working on Legion of Superheroes. I think since John Byrne, he is the only major high-profile writer who is, taking up the Legion of Superheroes comics. But now, when the Fandom event is happening online, all I see are mostly announcements about DC's TV shows, DC's video games, DC's movies. And if you look even within the movies, the trailers that we saw, the most appreciated ones turned out to be having some kind of an involvement of the Bat. If we are talking about the Flash's trailer, you remove that scene where they show Batman's cowl. What else do you have? People, as much as they like Flash, most of the DC fans went crazy just because they saw Batman's cowl. It, to an extent, confirmed to them that Michael Keaton is going to be involved in this. Then you have the Batman. Now, the Batman trailer was just phenomenal. I mean, I just went crazy over it. But it's going to be based on the early years of Batman, and he's going to be going up against Penguin. Penguin makes an appearance after, like, when was the last time Penguin made an appearance in a Batman movie? Yeah, that was way back when Michael Keaton was Batman. So then you have Riddler. Riddler again, the last time we saw Riddler on a movie screen was when Jim Carrey played Riddler in Val Kilmer's movie of Batman. I think it was Batman Forever. So, and the way Matt Reeves has approached the character, it is so refreshing. It is so refreshing, despite the fact that guys like me are still fans of Christopher Nolan's work. So Batman again saves the day. But what about other characters? I fell in love with DC Comics. I fell in love with comic books because of DC characters. I still remember when I was 4 years old, and there used to be Al Mukhtar store over here in Hayy Al Andalus. They had a beautiful wall mural of Super Friends, and that was the thing that mesmerized me. That I didn't know much about Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, or anyone, but that was the day I fell in love with superheroism. That was the day I started to look for things, for books that had something about them, or cartoons that had something about them. Mind you, this is mid 80s Saudi Arabia, and you only have channel 1, channel 2, nothing else. There's no satellite channel. The internet is like, nobody can't even think about it in that era. And all we had was this. And since that point onwards, there has been a steady decline in terms of publication of very unique DC characters. We haven't seen anything major happening for John Constantine, Hellblazer. We haven't seen anything being done for Deadman. DC Comics has, in my estimate, rough estimate, the largest portfolio of superheroes. I cannot even say that Marvel comes even close, because DC Comics came into existence when 3 companies merged, and later on they bought Fawcett Comics as well, which brought with it Shazam and Black Adam. What's the last major storyline that was groundbreaking for Shazam? Green Lantern. I cannot think of... I mean, if these guys start rolling out best-selling stories for these characters in comics and graphic novels, for characters like Green Lantern, Deadman, Elongated Man, Justice Society of America, The Flash, Titans. I mean, Titans as a TV series, it's getting a lot of ground, but what have we seen happening within the comic book side of things? So little exposure about what's coming in the comic book verse. It's not being marketed well, in my opinion. I understand that today's fan base is more concerned about what they will see on the movie screen or on the TV screen. But at the same time, whatever is appearing on movie screen and TV screen, it all is coming from the comic books. It's somehow inspired, and if there are no good stories coming out in comic books, how on earth will you be able to maintain your cinematic universe or your TV universe for years and years to come? Plus, at the same time, I mean, right now, if I am a comic book reader, the only option I have is Batman. And because to this day, whether we are talking about the diversification of Batman characters, whether we are talking about the extension of the Bat family, Batman remains authentic to his roots. Damian Wayne being Robin, such a rich character that I cannot imagine. And I hope that they don't just use these characters for short-term sales booster, for identity politics and all these things. Let superheroes be about real values rather than their ethnicity and sexual orientation. I say that because I'm a non-white individual. And for me, I don't have any issues if I see a white male being Superman. The only thing that brings problems for me is the fact that when things that are related to somebody's personal lifestyle are being projected as values and being imposed upon others. What happened with Tim Drake? I mean, it's a stupid decision that they have come up with. What they had a very good opportunity to launch John Kent, Superman's son, as the heir to Superman, but I don't think so that this character is going to make a mark, thanks to the fact that this character has fallen victim to the identity politics that we have seen in that's making America, or at least the internet community, go crazy over it, because most of these people who belong to the LGBTQ plus community, they are very much active keyboard warriors, and they obviously they will appreciate that. I don't see any other reason why. But what I am sure about it is that even this community, if they are fans of superheroes, they will not be buying comics if those comics are not delivering to them good stories about heroic values. Superman started out as the first superhero. He is the icon. And what was the main tagline? Truth, justice, and someone who cares for the oppressed. This is before when Superman was fighting for truth, justice, and the American way. That's why I believe that it's been a huge disappointment for me. I was expecting quite a lot. I was thinking that maybe DC might be pushed by thanks to what Marvel has been rolling out. I'm not going to say that Marvel has been perfect when it comes to the comic book side of things, but if I compare them with DC, they are doing a much better job. And in that respect, I don't see Marvel being in comic books world being glued to one character, whether it is Spider-Man or whether it's the Avengers. No, they are, each and every character is coming out with some exciting storyline that fans are looking forward to. This is my opinion. If you have any comments about it, please share them with me. If you have any questions, please share that as well. I just hope that DC Comics starts taking, because right now they don't, they changed their logo to just DC instead of DC Comics, and this happened a long time ago. But I mean, at the heart of this company are comics, and if they don't make use of these characters, and they have a lot of golden age characters which are shelved somewhere in their archives, redefine them. I mean, and stop making your characters fall victim to identity politics. Today, nobody is talking about Alan Scott Green Lantern, the original Green Lantern. Why? Because you made that character part of the LGBTQ plus community, and next thing you know, yeah, it made headlines, and then, oh, DC's this, that, and everything, and so many praises and so many retweets, and God knows what. When was the last time we got a very good trade paperback or a limited series or a story or something related to the original Green Lantern? I can't even think of it. Let me know of your thoughts. Let me know of your views. Due to my personal commitment, I was not able to broadcast this live today. But I hope that next week I'm going to be broadcasting it live both on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you very much for joining in. See you next week.